By the way, guys, can we, since I'm kind of feeling a little bit off right now and I'm in a kind of deep mood anyways, can we have a little bit of deep talk right now? It's not like I want to tell you anything depressing right now, you know? I was just having a thought earlier and I wondered what you guys would think about it. It's also kind of a Twitch thing. I'm ready for deep talk. And what is that emote? Is this a taking notes emote? Yes. Oh my gosh, I love emotes like that. I think I'm going to make one too, just because I kind of tend to give opinions and advice and whatever and be kind of a tense on screen, so I think it would make sense. So, I'm pretty sure that person's not in chat anymore because they stopped talking after that. That's also why I want to talk to you about it, because I feel kind of bad, because I think I made someone uncomfortable and feel unwelcomed, and then they left again. So the thing is, there was a person coming into the stream, they said hello, and then they told me, I'm going to warn you right now, this is a little bit triggering, especially if you're a trans person. Like only mildly triggering. They just told me that they came out to their mother about being trans, and their mother was being transphobic, you know? That was what I told in chat. You know who I'm talking? I can't even remember anymore that you were there. They left very fast afterwards, right? And I told them that I'm really sorry, and I also tried to kind of comfort them afterwards and say, hey, maybe that's not forever, maybe they're going to change. But the first thing I said was, I'm sorry that happened to you, but maybe don't randomly say such personal or maybe even a little bit triggering things in chat or something like that. I can't remember how I worded it. They basically came in, didn't really say anything else and just dropped that in the chat. They did say hello though, you know? To be honest, they unwarrantedly dumped that on you. At the end of the day, you're a streamer, not a therapist. That's right, but it's so hard, you know? Like, maybe someone... You're right, I'm not a therapist and I'm also not a friend. Yeah, but hello and then that. Okay, you guys are right. Now that I have said it out loud, I'm kind of wondering why I was even questioning myself. My cat died. Please. I think if someone was coming into chat like that, I wouldn't even believe it. Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, I get it. I don't even know why I was questioning myself right now, because it's true, he was kind of trauma dumping. Like, just to use this general term of coming into chats and mentioning triggering topics. I've dealt with so many situations like that. Don't second guess yourself. Okay, thank you. Because I was kind of feeling bad, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, did that lead to that person not feeling welcomed in my community, you know? It's kind of hard, I don't know. Because I am fine with like topics like that, you know? But I don't want it to be random. That's also why I worded it like with no random promo and no random triggering topics in my rules, because it might be okay. Like, only because you have the LGBT tag doesn't mean you should just trauma dump stuff, right? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me because what also happens, you know, I'm quite a chatty person and I have lots of opinions, and I'm kind of a live gaming podcast almost. So if someone comes in with a random topic, I feel a pretty strong urge to share my opinion on that, and that might be harmful for that person in the moment, you know? So it's kind of dangerous even. There's a time and place. If the chat is already talking about serious stuff, that may be okay, but not when the vibe is super fluffy and happy. Yes, exactly. I love how positively opinionated. Please, opinionated. Is it called opinionated? That sounds so stupid. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm sorry, but what do you mean by that exactly? I think I'm having a language problem right now. Do you mean that I have like that I'm open-minded and agree to a lot of things, or I don't understand, I'm sorry. English is not my first language, okay? Like, you're not afraid to express your thoughts. Oh, okay. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. How the sentence was supposed to be understood. Okay, yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, and you know, grammar isn't easy. I love to express my thoughts, honestly. That's also part of the reason why I started streaming. You can't even imagine how much my boyfriend has to listen to my random thoughts and opinions about things that maybe, like, especially Animal Crossing and Nintendo and the cozy gaming community, that's a topic I talk a lot about, and he's not much into that. Like, still, I'm so thankful that he listens to it all the time, and he also comments on it and like has his own opinions as far as that's possible for him. But yeah, with that person, it'd be a different story if it was a friend. However, this is someone you've never met. Like, to the person, yes, I'm sorry you had to deal with that, but save it for someone you trust in real life, not a Twitch chat, yeah. The thing is, a lot of people don't have someone in real life. And that's not an excuse, but I just wanted to mention that in this context right now. But that's also the reason why so many people go to the internet to vent, because it's kind of the last resort. You're right, not an excuse. However, there are always online forums and support hotlines. Yeah, I know. I think a part of the problem also is that people themselves, especially teenagers, they don't even realize that they need someone they can talk to privately. It could also be, it's not ideal, but it could also be an online friend who they regularly talk to, or even chat privately. Not in a Discord server, in a public channel, but privately, via DMs, you know? But of course, a friend that actually lives near you, that you can see face to face, is something every human needs, to be honest. Also, just be for like physical interaction somehow. You know, like, personally, I'm also not, I'm not like a cuddly person at all, you know? I rarely hug people, like when I say hello to them. I only do that to my family and my best friend, you know? Or if I like haven't seen someone in a really long time. Or I've also done that with internet friends when I've known them for like years, and then I see them for the first time in real life, and it's just amazing. You feel like the happiest person in the world. But what I was trying to say, being around another person that you have a connection with, it gives you something I think humans need. But Lord, leave the Animal Crossing players alone. Yeah, exactly. If you're a friend, even online, that's fine. Most of my friends live in other countries, but that doesn't mean they are less of a friend. Yeah, right? But the funny thing is, even between friends, and some of you might even have experienced that, because it's not an uncommon thing. Even then, it sometimes happens that people just keep on trauma dumping on you and like don't care about how you feel about that, you know? So even to a friend, you kind of have to, I don't know, like, obviously it's nice to have a friend where you never have to think about, okay, can I talk to them about this right now? But especially if it's over a long period of time and you're continuously kind of dumping your bad feelings on them, and also if it doesn't get you anywhere, you know? The ideal situation, Muffy, is you talk about it, and then after the talk, you feel better, or you have learned something. You kind of made a little baby step into a better direction, you know? But sometimes people will just talk and talk with you about their problems, and you could try to help, and if afterwards it didn't get any better, like 0%, it kind of can be harmful to both parts. I hate that, especially if they complain and you give advice and you do not take it and then vent again about the same thing. Yeah, right. But also sometimes things you vent about just don't go away, you know? And I also think it's really important to give your friend the feeling that they don't have to improve too fast, you know, or to make your friend feel like it's okay if they will come to you with this again and again, you know. Sometimes it can happen that you kind of feel pressure to improve. Like, for example, I have vented to my friend about this specific topic. Now I'm not allowed to vent about it again, like for a week, because, or like I'm only allowed to vent about this topic like 3 times, because after 3 times I should have fixed it. You know? I'm kind of also saying that to myself, because I'm doing pretty good with it, like nowadays. But I definitely was at a point before where I was kind of at least starting to think like, what if my friends, or especially my partner, gets sick of it if I don't improve if I don't improve fast enough, you know? I know someone just like that. Literally yesterday I expressed every opinion I had of him to his face, and I was living for it. I say to his face it was over Discord. I've never met. Oh my gosh, please. I have to go to Twitch right now because I just can't in OBS. Bruh. I say to his face it was over Discord. I've never met this man. Yeah, not saying you can only vent about it one time, but just if you ask again for the advice and didn't you do the first advice, then what else can I say? That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's really tricky. Also, since we are kind of low-key talking about this right now, a thing I have been really, really kind of worrying about, you know? I want to be kind of an mental health advocate, almost. I started my content when I was at the hospital because of my mental health. And I started my Instagram account at this point. And I kind of already used it to kind of share my experience, but in a really toned down way. Not like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this and that. Oh, it's Molly, sweet little baby. She's cutie. Not in a way where I just tell everybody like what triggering things are going on in my life or whatever. Or, oh my gosh, I'm so bad. But more like only sharing. That sounds so toxic right now. Only sharing the progress, like not the progress, but what am I doing right now? Kind of a little cozy mental health and mindfulness and road to happiness in tips and tricks Instagram, you know? And also just sharing positivity, because I was drawing and photographing nature and stuff, and yeah, whatever. I'm not trying to get into detail about my Instagram right now. By the way, if you scroll down, click on the About Me banner, you find my card where all my social links are at. Shamelessly advertising myself again. What I was trying to say, I mean, that's also why I have the mental health tag on my stream. And as you may have already noticed, I like to talk about the topic. And I also think that I do have some kind of techniques and just things I do in my life that are pretty helpful, to be honest. And obviously I can't talk too much about it because you don't even know what's going on with me, you know? So it's kind of really vague. But what I'm trying to say, I think I'm just about to forget my point. Wait a second. I need to sort my thoughts. Is it okay to talk and kind of also vent a little about your mental health on the internet, or to a greater extent to your friends, if you are not in therapy at the moment? So you're basically not doing anything about it. I'm not saying that growth is only done in therapy. Like, there are also a lot of things you can do by yourselves. And sometimes I'm scared if I kind of share things that I might say something that's not true, you know? Maybe if I'm sharing techniques that I use to cope, but I I originally have learned these techniques from a therapist, but they have kind of evolved, or maybe I also have figured stuff out by myself, you know? And what if I share techniques that wouldn't be officially approved by a professional, and then someone kind of gets inspired and does the same and somehow harms themselves because it's something that a therapist doesn't approve? Do you know what I mean? But again, as soon as as I'm saying this out loud right now, I'm realizing how ridiculous I'm being, because everyone should know that a freaking Twitch streamer is not a therapist, and they should like consume advice on the internet with a grain of salt. Yes, absolutely. Not everyone is able to have a therapist, and it's good to find ways that help to help yourself with other therapists. So I think it's fine to share these for other people. You should just make a disclaimer saying, this is how I am coping. Please know this may not be the best for you. Yeah, that's something that should always be done, kind of, when you talk about mental health. And also, it's kind of the same with coping mechanisms, but also with symptoms, you know? Because if people know... Sorry, I can't tell you right now, okay? It's not a moment for me. I do want to tell you at some point, and I'm sorry I'm being so secretive, like about my condition right now. I think some people really need to establish a difference between sharing and trauma dumping. It's okay to maybe convey your troubles lightly, opposed to asking for the pity vote instead of getting the help they need. That's true. Love me some secrets. It's not a secret, like, I don't know, I'm just... Yeah. Hi Vanok, we're kind of having a deep mental health talk right now. It's good that you're here, like in case if some weird bot comes in and asks what mental health is again, you know, like last time. It's not only the case that if you share coping mechanisms, you kind of have a disclaimer, or you kind of have to say that this is how I cope, it might not work for you. It's also the same with symptoms. Like for example, if someone would talk about... I'm not going to disconnect myself from the topic right now. If I would talk about symptoms, it's also kind of important to mention that just because I have symptom X because of condition Y, you know, doesn't mean that everyone with the exact same diagnosis might have the same struggles, you know? I don't know. People might watch a stream where someone talks about their condition, and they might think to themselves and more like add to their knowledge, okay, this condition looks like that, you know? And nobody tells them that, hey, that's just the case for me, and it's kind of a little bit different for everybody else and every individual person. You do not have to share anything else. You can keep it simple and still share what you do to improve your mental health. I didn't want to make it seem like I was kind of feeling pressure to share anything. The thing is, I do want to share, you know? And I do want to talk about certain things. Not like mainly to just share my struggles, but more like to share my solutions, you know, and help people. And also kind of, do you know that feeling when you think, does anybody else feel like that, you know? And on one hand, of course, I'm hoping to kind of find people who I can relate to, but I'm also hoping that people can relate to me, you know? I just want to create a space where maybe people can relate to each other and not feel alone. I'm so hot right now, please. But still, thank you very much, Fu, for the kind words. Thanks. You really make me feel safe here.